Wealth, yoga, wine. Welcome to my podcast. I'm Valerie Hale. Train your brain to improve your life. Mary Morrissey tells us that our brain cells create the images which activate feelings and vibrations. And it's that vibration, which is the first law of the universe, it's the vibration which creates attraction. Many of us think that it's attraction that brings things to us, but what starts the process is the law of vibration. And what really starts the process of all this woo-woo is your thoughts. Thinking vibrates brain cells, and that invokes attraction. She gives the example of Jack Nicklaus, the GOAT, greatest of all time golfers. What he does before he makes a long drive or a putt, he does not even begin to take a swing until he imagines, not just studies where he's going to hit the ball, but he imagines exactly where it's going to go. Then he sees the ball going exactly where he wants it to go. He imagines this. He creates that vibration of the golf ball getting exactly where he wants. He imagines this. And in that imagination, he activates feelings. And the vibration is what attracts his success. It sounds simple. It is simple. We just have to train our brain to do this, because our brain begins the thinking, but we control the thoughts. So remember what Jack Nicklaus does, because we all want to be a GOAT, the greatest of all time in our own lives. I'm a big proponent of Kundalini Yoga and kids learning Kundalini Yoga. Especially now with the pandemic, our children, and even though I don't have them, I have lots of friends who do, and I see what goes on with their anxiety and their stress level with the masks and the angry parents. Kundalini Yoga is specifically geared toward children. I have put 2 virtual classes by Guru Jagat on my website. If you feel as though your child is experiencing anxiety of any sort, have them watch this virtual Kundalini Yoga class that's specifically for children. The young lady who's teaching it with Guru Jagat helps children, young people, even teenagers, understand the benefits of meditation, helps them learn how to chant, helps them learn how to practice the right way with chanting, and the benefits. She tells us that Kundalini Yoga practiced every day helps her with her anxiety. She's a very young teenager, and you know it's a very difficult life as a teenager, especially today. She shares with her young audience that it improves the self-esteem, it makes her joyful, and it makes her feel beautiful. And for the young men, it can make them feel more attractive also. So the 2 virtual classes on my podcast details are super helpful for young people of any age. It helps to have someone young also teach the class, and she is teaching it with Guru Jagat, who has 30 years of teaching Kundalini Yoga. It's a great way for the younger people to absorb Kundalini Yoga rather than just watching it from, an old woman. Guru Jagat's not old. Well, she's also dead, but also in St. Petersburg, a yoga village teaches children, young children, every Monday at 4 o'clock. It's not a virtual class yet, they told me, but there are ways that you can find resources for yoga classes for young people. Now, I am a proponent of Kundalini Yoga. I have never practiced any other kind of yoga. I am a yoga snob. However, just getting your child involved in a yoga class really will give them such a leg up in this crazy time of the pandemic, which is going to stay with us for quite a while, I believe. Lastly, I talked about collectors and connoisseur holiday wines. And yes, they're pricey. I chose them specifically because they are small producers. They're all family-owned. They're all sustainable, organic. The French are certified Demeter. Therefore, you're also helping the environment and a small family business when you purchase ZD wines or Scarecrow, Monsieur Étain, and of course the French that I have on there, Billecart, Salmon, Chateau Lavernette. But instead of buying wine, you can go to these websites, and I have all the links. You can go to these websites and choose wine-related swag, as we call it in the industry. ZD has a very easy gift to buy. It's a Bouchon. You can buy several of them. It's a fancy cork, but it's very nice. It's only $10. You could buy 5 of those and knock out 5 friend gifts who are wine connoisseurs. And it specifically says ZD wine on it's engraved, so that's pretty cool. Scarecrow and Monsieur Étain, if you don't know the story behind them, is J.J. Cohn, who was heavily involved in making The Wizard of Oz. It's a great story, and they have a beautiful book which has all kinds of photos of J.J. Cohn and The Wizard of Oz. It's just a really cool tie-in if you have someone who loves wine books like I do. Also, the French are not crazy about swag, but ZD wines actually have the saber, which is to cut off the neck of a champagne bottle. That's another story. I'll have to write that. They also have the La Gueule, which are really beautiful knives and wine openers on their swag site, their merchandise site. Those are fun to look at. They are pricey, but they're absolutely beautiful. And that's something to consider also. So you don't have to buy wine for your connoisseur and collector. You can buy wine swag. The French, as I mentioned, they are not necessarily swag merchandise people. However, a really cool gift, you can go to Billecart Salmon and hopefully arrange for a personal tour. They do warn you they can't accommodate everybody. I will say the winter months probably a little easier to get into a place like Billecart Salmon. But another way to do a wine-related travel gift is some of the more popular vineyards. You can visit them, arrange a tour. So your holiday gift could be a wonderful travel package to one of the beautiful vineyards in France or anywhere in Europe. And of course, to Napa Valley, it's somewhat easy to get into ZD. Monsieur Étain and Scarecrow, a little tricky, but once again, you could certainly arrange that. Any of these stunning and stellar wineries, a little trickier to get in, but they generally accommodate special tours, special packages such as this. In conclusion, train your brain to improve your life. Start that vibration by healthy thoughts, expansive thoughts, and you'll become the GOAT, the greatest of all time of your own life. Kids yoga, I am a proponent of Kundalini Yoga. However, you could easily find classes in your own environment, even virtual classes, I believe, that would teach your child meditation and how to de-stress. Wine swag. Yep, you don't have to buy wine bottles. You can create your own package of beautiful leather wine bag from Monsieur Étain, the Bouchon, and your own travel tour package guide. What fun is that? It's the holidays. I know we're going to spend a little more than we did last year because we couldn't see people. In conclusion, I am not a life coach. I'm not a consultant. I create this podcast every week to improve people's lives all over the world. Merci.